So again, my name is Helen, and I didn't start here. I wasn't always an online business owner, and my speaking gigs started when I was in adult education and the private sector, and they were always defined by my employer I worked for. My flair and creative side was somewhat stifled. I thought I'd made it when I stepped into admin roles and the emergence of Windows 95 back then. Computers were the way of the future, and I was making minimum wage and remained in capped income for a lot of years. In those days, it was the uni degrees that got the offers or who you knew, not the hard workers. Here, your experience and your history is your personal uni degree that can take you anywhere that you want to go. You can build your own space outside of corporate life and uncap your income. When the world shut down in 2020, people lost their jobs in the blink of an eye. They gravitated online to look for solutions, and with all the noise on the internet, it became increasingly difficult in finding a real option out there. Honestly, it was a really dark time in my life. I was newly divorced. I'd picked up my bags and relocated myself to the coast to start life all over again. I actually spent 2 years in lockdown by myself. I realised how disposable I was during that time, not only to the government, but to an employer, in that my income and my future was actually in the hands of someone else and how it could easily get taken away. That experience made me realise that I was capable of so much more. I wasn't always smart, but I was always driven, always the hardest working person in the room. My income was simply not reflecting that. But I just didn't know how to use my skills and my work ethic in order to make more money and really change my life without the years of uni to make that happen. So, years ago, when I was watching a web class just like this, something changed for me for that day. I was stuck in a life I didn't like and not sure how to change that. And I knew that I required a new direction to be able to support me to do that. I'm really no more special than you. In fact, I actually spent 30 plus years in various corporate jobs, including two separate stints in the public service. I started out my life, working as a 17-year-old runaway and near on 10 years in factories doing casual shifts, day, afternoon, and nights. You just wouldn't know what shift you were on until the roster came out. 12-hour days shifts, 6 days a week. I thought my life, that was my life basically. Physical work from sun up to sundown on 30-minute station rotations. Back then, I was also in the domestic violence situation, and life was all about survival mode and eventually escaping. The nervous system was shot, the anxiety would click in with a thought, a word, a look. I escaped that toxic space in my early 20s and retrained myself and found my way into admin roles. I guess it was always a given since I did learn to type when I was 12. But I'm really no more special than you. My income was going to be capped for the rest of my career, and I was so grateful to be employed after a rough start in life. But those experiences made me realise that I was capable of so much more. My income wasn't reflecting that, but I just didn't know how to use my skills and my work ethic in order to make more money and really change my life.